Hey, we're getting closer to our dreams here in this crypto world. Waiting for some folks to join us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Share in the chat your name, where you're joining us from. Hello, welcome. Share your name in the chat where you're joining us from. We're going to be getting started with our free crypto course. If you are on TikTok and you want to be able to see the slideshow presentation, you'll need to join us over on YouTube. My handle on YouTube is just blockchain queen. All right, so Blockchain Queen on YouTube. If you want to see the slides, if you want to stay here on TikTok, you can just stay here. You'll be able to hear me, but you won't be able to see the PowerPoint slides. So Blockchain Queen on YouTube. So excited to be here. All right. Hey, Cece from Chicago, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds here. Oh, thank you, Tatiana. All right. And Tatiana, if you want to join us on YouTube, you'll be able to see the slide presentation. And the tag on YouTube is at Blockchain Queen. Okay. So pulling up the slides over here. Hey, Tanisha. Hi, sweetheart. We were just on a nutrition call, so we are fired up, feeling like we're going to be fit as a fiddle this year. So, has everyone been enjoying these Hillman Talk classes? If so, tell me some of the classes you've been in because I've been trying to catch as many as possible. Hey, 40 Acres Project, that's Ed, y'all. Make sure y'all follow Ed. He is a partner with me in this crypto space. We love to bounce ideas off of each other. And if you are on YouTube, you can now see the slides. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, I'm going to put these headphones down. Let me know if you can still hear me on YouTube. Just give me a yes or a heads up because I'm getting an echo and I don't know how to get rid of it. So Tanisha, Chris. Okay, so Chris has been to the metaphysics, gardening 101. I love it. Legal one-on-one. Yes, they are giving us all the goods. Okay, thank you, Chris. All right, so we're going to be able to get started. I love this for us. I love that we're getting all this information, education, because we have people around the world. Hello, everyone on TikTok. I am Tonya Lawrence, the blockchain queen, here to share with you my information, background, insights on cryptocurrency. Because as we've seen, this new administration is making a big push to make sure that they are profiting from cryptocurrency. And I want our people to be educated. The most important thing when it comes to education in this cryptocurrency space is figuring out how to stay away from the wooden nickels, knowing what you're looking at, making sure that you are building a portfolio that makes sense and is going to benefit you and your family. And so I have this course that I offer online. It is usually $70 online for someone to go through the course at their own pace. And then I will provide 30-minute one-on-one consultation at the end. And there's also an executive experience when I provide one-on-one coaching like this, where I go through the information with you and then help people set up a portfolio. That is typically $1,000. Guys, you're getting it for free for Hill because of Hillman Talk and everything that they're doing. So let's show them some love in the chat. Put Hillman Talk, TikTok University, whatever you want to put, but let's show them some love, because without this ingenuity that our people have to come together and make things happen, this absolutely wouldn't be happening. And so I am so proud to be a part of it and to give you the information that I have, the information that has changed my family's life. For everyone who doesn't know me, my name again is Tonya Lawrence, the blockchain queen. And for those of you who are watching on TikTok, again, if you want to be able to see the slideshow, just move over to YouTube and look for blockchain queen on YouTube. Um, with the flu. Oh, I'm so sorry, TG. I knew you would be here if you could, sweetheart. She got the flu. My daughter and my son-in-law had the flu this weekend, which was horrible. My grandmother passed, so they missed the funeral on Saturday. So yes, I know it's running rampant. So I know I hope you get some rest and feel better real soon. For those of you again who want to see the slides on the information, you'll be able to jump over to YouTube, the block or just blockchain queen. I'm sorry, blockchain queen, and to see the slides on YouTube live. And if you just want to stay on TikTok, that's absolutely fine, because you'll be able to hear the information I'm sharing. But my background, I was an investment banker for 17 years. My husband and I, we owned our own investment banking firm where we facilitated financing for businesses who needed anywhere from $1 million to $200 million. Sometimes we did projects above that, but that was our niche. That was our sweet spot. And so we did that. He had the firm for 24 years. I was there for 17 years, serving as COO, the queen of all things, right? And because of strategic moves that we made, investments that we made, we were able to retire early. We retired back in 2016, and we thought we were going to just sell off into the sunset and things are going to be great. Guys, for type A personalities, people who are busy, who are go-getters, to sit around and do nothing for a whole winter, you could kill somebody. So we needed hobbies, and we needed hobbies fast, right? And so I started studying blockchain technology and finding out as much as I could about the technology, started setting up cryptocurrency wallets, started having Zooms with people who were like-minded just around the country, around the world at that time, actually, because we had people, a lot of people in India, Africa, who were all coming together and having Zooms to figure out what this technology is, what could happen with it, what we can expect from it. And we were all fascinated by it, right? And so fast forward, here we are 8 years later, and I am sharing this because I am so grateful for what Hillman Talk is doing. Because after the election, I was one of those people out there like volunteering, trying to make sure we had our first female president, trying to make sure that all the bullshit that's happening right now wouldn't happen. Because they told us what they were going to do in their memorandum, Project 2025, after I was at Howard University waiting for President or future President Kamala Harris to give her acceptance speech, and that didn't happen. I was devastated, guys. Absolutely devastated. I spent about 2 weeks in the bed and just completely bummed out. not knowing, what to do, knowing that, my family would be okay because of choices would be made, but extended family members, friends, colleagues, like what was going to happen to them when all of this crap really hit the fan. And here it is, it's happening every day. People are responding in different ways, but it's happening. And so in November, just being quiet, being silent, it gave God and the universe the time to speak to me. Because when you're busy, you're running around, you don't necessarily get the call, you don't get the message. And I was sent the message that I needed to go out and do something. To whom much is given, much is required is one of the sayings that was shared in my household all the time by my mother. And if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. And at that time, I needed to be a part of the solution. And so then the news, I was trying not to watch the news, trying to stay off of social media because I'm so distraught. But the messages kept coming over and over and over again that crypto was it. Crypto was where the world was moving. And I knew from my 8 years of experience that if people don't have the right information, they can easily be led astray. And so my passion and why I'm here and why I decided after our president didn't get chosen was to make sure our people got educated, because everything that's happening right now in the economy is geared towards making sure you have, number one, self-sufficiency, and making sure your portfolio is stacked. You can't do the latter part if you don't have the education, because someone will come along, and with the lack of information, the lack of knowledge, you become susceptible to scams. And so this information, this course was put together from my experience as an investment banker, training staff members, training sales teams, putting information together for them. Also, just being an educator in the space of USDA financing, SBA financing, had to go out and educate banks and CPA firms, and putting presentations and educating people together all the time was just what I did. And so then take the 8 years of cryptocurrency experience, and here we go. We have this course, the Blockchain Queens Bitcoin Basics. Now, last week on Sunday, we went through the Welcome to Crypto section, just going through the basics about what crypto is. This week, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Now, do not be intimidated if you were not here last week, because I will make sure I fill in the gaps along the way so that you'll be able to still be up to speed. You can go ahead and put your questions in the chat, comments in the chat. I will be able to view them both on TikTok and YouTube. So put your questions in the chat. I will be able to look at them. But again, the video you will only be able to see on YouTube. So if you want to watch the video, pop over to YouTube, Blockchain Queen, and we're live over there so you can see the slides as they come through. All right. And so we're going to start out with chapter 2. Anybody that was here for chapter 1, go ahead and put a comment in the chat. Let everybody else know if you enjoyed it, what you learned. All right, Cece, I see you. And thank you, Chris. All right, Cece, let me know if the sound is better now. Okay. So here we go. And guys, actually, you're probably going to want to jump over to YouTube, because I forgot there's audio on this first part of the presentation. So you won't be able to hear it unless you are on YouTube as well. So here we go with the first part of chapter 2, breaking down what Bitcoin is. And why it's special. Okay, guys, hold tight 1 second. They said they can't hear on YouTube, so I need to start this share all over again. Give me 1 second, everyone. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. We'll get it back up. Okay, now we're good to go. Hold on 1 second. Hey, welcome back. You're at chapter 2 now, and I want you to take a moment to congratulate yourself. Many people in life, don't get past that first step, which is taking action. You've taken action, you started the training, you got through chapter 1, you're on chapter 2 now, and here is where we're going to talk about what Bitcoin is and why it's so special. Okay, Bitcoin is currently the largest decentralized digital currency available with a current value as of November 24th, 2024 of over $98,000 a coin. Guys, this is unprecedented, okay? It's considered the grandfather of all digital currencies because it was the first digital currency to be created. It was the first app on
Hey,
the
welcome
blockchain,
back.
which
You're
is
at chapter
considered
2
Web
now, and I want you to
3.0. And we'll
take a
go more
moment
into the
to
blockchain
congratulate
in
yourself.
current, or excuse me,
Many
coming
people in
chapters.
life,
And it's
don't get
considered,
past that
to
first
be the
step, which
very
is
first coin
taking action.
that set the
You've
way
taken
for everything
action,
that's
you
going to
started the
happen in
training,
in the
you got
future.
through chapter
It can be
1, you're
sent
on
over the
chapter 2
internet
now,
from
and
person to
here is
person
where
without any
we're going to
banking
talk
fees.
about
That's
what
huge
Bitcoin
for
is
people
and why
who
it's so
have,
special. Okay,
relationships in
Bitcoin
other
is
countries, people
currently
who
the
work here in
largest
the US and they
decentralized
still
digital
send money
currency
back
available
to other
with a current
countries.
value
They have
as
to pay very
of
large
November
transaction fees
24th,
anytime they use Western
2024
Union
of
or if they
over
were undocumented workers and couldn't get a
$98,000 a
bank account.
coin.
Guys, this is
Transaction fees for
unprecedented.
people
Okay.
couldn't cost a lot.
It's
It's a
considered the
fraction
grandfather
of the
of all
cost
digital
when you
currencies
send digital
because it was the
currency.
first
When you're sending a
digital
bank wire,
currency to be
send a
created.
$100
It
bank
was
wire,
the
you got to
first
charge, they
app
charge you a $25
on
fee.
the
Hey,
blockchain.
back.
Here it
You're
was
at
considered
chapter
it would
2
just
now,
be
and I want you to take a
$300.
moment
Okay, so
to
that's just
congratulate
a
yourself.
huge benefit.
Many
Coming
people in
chapters,
life,
sending money
and it's
back and
considered,
forth,
to
right?
be the
It's
very
also
first
taking
easy to
action,
use.
set the
Consider
way,
taking
just like
action.
sending
You
going to
started the
happen
training.
in the
You
future.
got
It took
through
us a
chapter
minute to
1.
get
You're
used
on
to
chapter
sending
2 now.
emails. You remember that
And
video you
here
watched
is
without
where
any
we're going
banking
to
fees? We're
talk
getting used
about
to
what
what
Bitcoin
the internet
is
was
and
to
why
start
it's so
with,
special.
let alone finding
Bitcoin
someone
is
that you
currently
could
the
send an
largest
email to. The
decentralized
same is
digital
happening
currency
back
available
digital
with
currency
a
in
current
countries.
value
They
as
are
of
figuring out what it is
November
actually
24th,
adopting the
2024
practices
and them being
or if
able
they
to
were
transact
undocumented
peer-to-peer
workers and couldn't get a bank
or
account
with
businesses.
guys, this is
Transaction fees, the
unprecedented.
value
People
of the
couldn't cost a
currency.
lot.
It's
A
considered the
fraction being
grandfather
very
of all
cost
digital
of
currencies because it was the first
is
is
based
based
on
on
currency
public
to be
market
created by
supply. It
bank
was
wire. You
the
got to
first
charge, they
app.
charge you a
The
$25
more
fee.
welcome back. You're
Available
at chapter
with
2
the
now,
Web
and I want you to
3.0
take
with
more
more
okay,
into
so
the
that's the
blockchain.
huge
With the
benefit.
many
Mandate there
blockers
is sending money
and it's
back and
considered
forth,
more
right?
value.
It's
It
also
is
think about it,
easy to
action,
use.
set
Like
the
this,
way.
taking
Just like
action.
right now, there
You
is
started the training.
1.1
You got
billion
took us a minute to
Bitcoin
get
that
used
are
to
available now.
emails.
You remember that
And
video you
here
watched
is
without
where
any
we're going
bank
to
fees? We're
talk
getting used
about what
to what
Bitcoin
the internet
is
was
and
to
why
start
it's so
with,
special.
let alone finding
Bitcoin
someone
is
that you could
currently the
send an
largest
email to. The same is
digital
happening
currency
back
available
digital currency
with
in
a
countries.
current
People
value
are
of
figuring out what it is actually adopting the practices
and them being
or if
able to
they were
transact
undocumented workers and couldn't get a bank account businesses.
Guys, this is
Transaction fees, the
unprecedented.
value
People
of the
couldn't cost a
currency.
lot.
It's
A
considered the
fraction being
grandfather
very
of all
cost
digital
of
currencies because it was the
$98,000.
first
when you're sending a foreign currency to be created by any of the first they charge you $25 welcome chat with your headquarters it would just less penny of dollars. Okay, so that is a huge benefit. Mandating or sending your ambassadors more currency, it's very think about it easy to use. The literally takes right now they're started the training 1 million to get sent or send it to now, right? Video you watch without any banking. We're getting used to what the internet was to start with, let alone finding someone that you can send an email to. The same is happening with digital currency. Other countries that currency. It's considered extremely about currencies because it was the first when you're sending a foreign currency to be created $100 bank wire, the first they charge you $25 welcome chat with your headquarters it would just less penny of dollars. Okay, so that is a huge benefit. Mandating or sending your ambassadors more currency, it's very think about it easy to use. The literally takes right now they're started the training 1 million chat minutes to get sent or send it to now, right? Video you watch without any banking. We're getting used to what the internet was to start with.
Okay, third time's a charm. I think I had two platforms playing the presentation at once. You guys are going to get a full refund. Give me 1 second. You weren't kicked out, Juju. The audio, it was double playing, so I need to figure out what's going on with the audio. Give me 1 second. This is so embarrassing. Chris just demanded his refund. Okay, try this again. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you. Y'all still giving out badges on TikTok with this crazy audio. I love y'all. I am working on getting it fixed. Give me a second here. Even if I got to go old school and pull out the slides and just start from scratch, I will do that for you guys. No, I think I'm going to do that because I don't want to be frustrated by these technical glitches. So we can get support to figure that out. I'm going to give you the training from scratch. Okay, give me 1 second. I just got to pull up the slides again. While we are waiting for the slide to download, tell me your biggest question about cryptocurrency or your biggest question about Bitcoin, and I can start answering those, and then we'll probably hit on it again. But let's fill the dead air. Biggest question about Bitcoin. Oh, thank you, Chris. He said he just popped over to TikTok just to give me some likes. He's still on YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Chris asks, where is the platform to purchase? It is www.tonyalawrence, TonyaLawrence.net. And I was going to tell you guys, because I have communities on there, free communities, paid communities. I have tools. I have a ongoing training that I do every Tuesday live called Tuesday with Tonya, and I'm giving all the Hillman students 50% off. So write the coupon code down. I'm going to wait till the end and surprise you guys. Write the coupon code down. It is just Hillman, HILLMAN. Anything you purchase on the site, whether it's the recurring option to be a part of the ongoing training that's every Tuesday, that is $7 a month, 50% off, $350 a month. You cannot beat the information that I give. Again, just trying to make sure that our people are well equipped and not waiting for anyone to come save us. We are saving ourselves, and I didn't want it to be cost prohibitive for anyone. Like my grandson could come up with $7 a month from his little chores. All right, so so yes, www.tonyalawrence.com takes you to a Linktree page. .net takes you straight to the website, and you can click on all products. It has all my products there, and Hillman is the coupon code that you can use for anything to get 50% off. So thank you for that. All right, guys. Oh, I'm so sorry that the numbers are dwindling. This is crazy. I think they watching our platforms. It's like, let me shut her shit off. She's trying to give out too much free information. That's all right. I got a backup for the backup. One second. I am almost there. Had to go into where I designed that PowerPoint to pull out the slides. All right, we are cooking with grease now. Let's see if I can get this little tripod set up so that TikTok can see it as well. We're good to go. Share the screen. Don't worry, TikTok, I'm turning the screen around for you so you'll be able to share. Be able to see. They needed to be playing Beyonce's theme song, You Must Not Know About Me. It didn't matter what glitch was happening, this was still going down. See and make sure it comes thumbs up on YouTube, and then we are off and running to the races. The only thing that will happen is I won't be able to, Charlie asks, have you commenced progress towards securing your finances to XLM, XRP, backed by gold and silver? Thanks, Charlie. I'm teaching my new students about crypto now and also how to stay away from scams. So we are good. Everybody's looking at the same screen. Okay, so all I was saying is that I will not be able to see your questions until later on TikTok. But here we go. Okay, cooking with grease. And as I said, we went over these earlier slides last week on what is cryptocurrency, and we'll get into it some more. All right, thank you guys for your patience. Full refunds are forthcoming. And also, if you want anything off of the platform, the coupon code is Hillman, HILLMAN. And you can get 50% off anything on the platform. So let's start us off from the beginning again. What is Bitcoin? All right, so when you think about blockchain and what the blockchain is, the way that it was described to me, and I loved it, was that it is Web 3.0. Think of web, the current web that we have. This is Web 2.0. The Web 1.0 was that very first iteration of the internet when we were all running around looking for an AOL disk so that we could email each other. We needed a platform and we needed something that would connect us. So we needed to have that AOL disk just so that we could email each other. And that's really the most that we could do, was communicate back and forth with each other, instant message and email on the internet. Now, then Web 2.0 happened. That's when we got excited because it allowed us to start sending voice messages and videos over the internet. And so the adoption of the social media platforms, that happened on Web 2.0. Web 3.0 is what the blockchain is. And so the blockchain being Web 3.0, and the very first application on the blockchain is Bitcoin, or was Bitcoin. I'm moving this out of the way. There you go, guys. Okay, the very first application on the blockchain was Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is currently the largest decentralized digital currency available. And the value, this was as of November 24th, 2024, was 98,000 a coin. If anyone was paying attention in the winter or December of 2024, it went up to over $108,000 a coin. Funny story, I was first introduced to cryptocurrency in 2010 by one of my investment banking clients. He wanted to pay my retainer. My retainer was $25,000. This gentleman was in the telecommunications industry. He had a very large project he needed funded. We met, we had a couple meetings, and we talked about his project. I knew he was brilliant just from the information that he shared with us. And when he started talking about paying us our retainer, this was like meeting number 3, we advised him that, you know, we were willing to take on his project and facilitate the financing, that the retainer would be 25,000. And, you know, that's when the bricks hit the fan, right? And so he advised that outside of the 20% cash that he needed in order to facilitate the loan, he didn't have an additional 25,000 above and beyond that to pay our retainer. And he asked us, could he pay us in Bitcoin? I was like, what is Bitcoin? All right. For those of you who are coming later, I am a retired investment banker. I facilitated financing for businesses who needed anywhere from $1 million to $200 million in financing. This one client in 2010 needed, I forget, I think it was like 200 million. No, it had to be less than that if the retainer was 25,000. Anyway, the retainer was 25,000. And so, we were trying to figure out, okay, what were we going to do? And so I think he needed 25 million. So the retainer was 25,000. And he offered to pay in Bitcoin. I said, I don't know what that is. Let me get back to you. I needed to reach out to someone who I thought would know about it in 2010. I reached out to the law firm that we worked with to close deals. That law firm was a very large law firm in Baltimore that facilitated loan closings for us. And they also worked as the legal arm and the back office for banks. And so anytime I needed to get in touch with a bank president or a CEO, I would reach out to the law firm. They would facilitate that meeting because everybody was able to eat. I can show them how we could put a deal together. We could structure the deal, get it at a great interest rate, show the bank how to sell the guaranteed portion of the loan on the secondary market. A lot of chitter chatter here, just to let you know, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to finance. I had no clue what Bitcoin was. That's why I called the attorney, called someone who I thought would know, or could call some other banks and talk to some bank presidents and get an answer. He waited 2 days, came back to me, and he said, stay away from Bitcoin. It's illegal. You'll go to jail. Guys, Bitcoin was 10 cents a coin back then. That meant, somebody put in a chat, 10 cents, 10 cents a coin back in 2010. That meant in order for our client to pay us, they would have had to have given us 250,000 coins. Did you hear me a few minutes ago when I told you that Bitcoin reached $108,000 a coin? And that man told me to stay away from it because it was illegal and we would go to jail. Misinformation kills legacies for generations. My family would, if we only kept half of those coins, we would still be multi-billionaires right now. Not a billionaire, multi-billionaires. We lost billions of dollars because we trusted someone who we thought knew what they were talking about. Now, to this day, we don't know if he didn't know what he was talking about or if he was misinformed by the banks. Because what happens for the banks when you start buying crypto, you're not putting your money into their bank so that the value of your dollar can go down. Everyone here knows that the value of the dollar used to be backed by gold. It used to be considered the gold standard. It is no longer backed by gold. So the $4 that you had last February, February 3rd, that $4 may have been able to buy a dozen of pasteurized eggs. And you may have had some change left over to get some gum or something. Thank you, Chris. You hear me on that. You felt me on that. 10 cents a coin. That $1 that you have, that $4 that you have right now cannot buy you a dozen of eggs. The cost of the eggs have gone up, the value of the dollar has gone down. So if you had that $4 sitting in a savings account or sitting in a bank account, not earning you money, you missed the opportunity for your money to work for you, for your money to grow for you. However, if you had a digital currency that grew in value over that time, you would have been able to take the profits off of the $4 to then go and buy some eggs, and that $4 base would still be there. Okay. And so when banks realized that they were losing the race and they were going to quickly begin competing with cryptocurrencies, they started making it harder for you to be able to purchase it. They would close your bank accounts. They would do all kind of crazy things. But this administration, when I say that they are crypto friendly, I don't agree with much of anything that they have done. I do agree with their cryptocurrency initiatives. And guys, hear me on this. This isn't designed for you. This cryptocurrency initiative isn't designed for me. It's designed for them. It's designed for the wealthier to get wealthier, for them to have assets that they don't have to pay taxes on. No one's sitting around saying, well, why don't we go out and provide some education to people who are not accredited investors and help them build portfolios? It's not happening. It's not going to happen. It is for them to be able to take hundreds of millions, millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, be able to park it into assets that are going to continue to grow based on this new administration and some of the things that they are doing to make crypto a more friendlier environment, to make it a part of the national reserve for the US, because our dollar is shitty and our dollar is not holding up the way that it should. And we have conflicts going on with Canada, Mexico, China, all these major countries that provide valuable goods to us, and we're fighting with them. The value of our dollar is decreasing significantly. And guess what? They're stacking up on crypto. And they know that they're going to do things to make the value of crypto continue to produce profits for them globally. And so that's why it's crucial that you learn this information. All right. Crypto, Bitcoin can be sent over the internet from person to person. That means you don't need a bank. You don't need a bank account. You can do it without banking fees, right? We had a client send a $20,000 retainer on Friday, and it went from a bank account at one bank to a bank account at the same bank. They sent a letter today saying that it was denied for security protocols. They don't even want you moving your money. They want your money staying with them. Has anyone gone to the bank lately and tried to cash a very large check? I remember about 7 years ago, I went to the bank and I had a check for $10,000. I walked from, so no, it had to be 9 years now, because I walked from my office across the street to the bank where I didn't even need ID because they knew me, tried to cash the check. They told me I needed to make an appointment and come back because they don't have the money sitting there. That money is out making money. And so we have to do the same thing. Our money has to make money for us. And you can do that when you have a digital currency like Bitcoin that's not owned by any government, it's not owned by any banking system. And more importantly, it has a limited supply. Their limited supply, write this number down. There are only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be produced. Okay, so that means that when they are done producing those 21 million Bitcoin, that's it. There will not be another one created. What does that mean? Scarcity is good. Right now, with the US dollar, if things get tight, they go and print some more US dollar bills. That allows for inflation to go through the roof. That allows for the value of our dollar to decrease. When you have a limited edition of something, let's talk about a limited edition car, a limited edition pair of sneakers. If anyone has teenagers, you've all experienced someone winning a limited edition pair of shoes. When there's a limited edition of something, it creates demand. And so, with there only being 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be mined, that means that there is a higher demand for that currency, not the currency, the US currency that can be printed at will based on the central bank or the government saying it's time to print some more dollar bills. All right. So, let's see. Innovation. Innovation is key. For those of you who are on YouTube or following on YouTube, write this down. And for those of you on TikTok, write it down as well. Make sure you get over to my YouTube page, Blockchain Queen, and there is a video that it's just a screenshot. It's a picture of me and Oprah there, and then the host of the podcast. It's from 2019. I found it in the archives and I was so excited. I said, I have to share this because back in 2019, I was interviewed on this podcast talking about the future of cryptocurrency. And I went through and I talked about all the things that Bitcoin could be used for or blockchain technology could be used for. And it was so exciting to hear that again recently. And that's why I uploaded it to YouTube, because a lot of those things were happening already in other countries that are way more advanced than the US, but they're now starting to happen in the US. And so it means that you're in a position to be at the right place at the right time. Sometimes you may hear people say, oh man, it's too late. It already reached 100,000 a coin. I missed it. Guys, you have not missed it. Write that, put it in the chat. I have not missed it. only 3% of the global population even has a cryptocurrency wallet. So you are still in a very good position to be able to get cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and other ones that I will educate you on. You're still in a good position to get those currencies and see profits on those currencies. Okay. All right. Some of the advantages of cryptocurrency. One of the biggest ones is security. The blockchain is as secure as it comes. You may have heard that someone's crypto wallet got hacked or their blockchain got hacked. That is not accurate. What may have been hacked is maybe they wrote their password down somewhere and someone got that. They may have had a secret key or a password that they screenshot and it went to their cloud on their Google or their iPhone cloud. Well, hackers can easily get into your cloud and be able to take that information from the cloud. But the blockchain is very secure. And so transactions that are on the blockchain, like Bitcoin transactions, when you send Bitcoin from one person to another, Chris calls me and says, I love the course. I want to get it. Or actually, I got the course. I'm so stoked. I went and bought some crypto. I want to pay you for something else on the platform. It's going to cost $50. I want to send you $50 in Bitcoin. Chris is able to get my cryptocurrency wallet address, send me my Bitcoin, and we are both able to see what time the currency left his wallet, how long it took on the blockchain to come to my wallet. And the blockchain is able to tell my wallet from wallet to wallet that there was enough money in Chris's wallet to even send the $50. What does this stop? This stops the scenario of the check is in the mail. There's no more check is in the mail scenarios because as soon as someone says they sent the transaction, you're able to ask for the hash receipt, type hash in the chat. You're able to ask for the hash receipt. And once you go online, because the blockchain is a big open ledger. It is like, you know how they had the bookies back in the day, or the people, the mobsters, and everybody wanted to get to their ledger book. Well, the blockchain is the ledger online. Everyone can see every transaction going back and forth, how long it took, but what they are not able to see is who owns that wallet. And so it'll just tell you that the money went from wallet XYZ. Here's the receipt number, and it went to your wallet because you'll know your own wallet address. All right. And it'll tell you when it left, how long it took, and if it was successful or not. And so there's no more the check is in the mail. There's no more, oh, I sent it. You don't have it yet. We're not doing that no more, sweetheart. Let me see the receipt. Okay. Send me some receipts. I need receipts. So that is a big plus when it comes to security. It makes it really hard for anyone to cheat, anyone to steal. It uses strong codes that protect your money so you control it with your secret or private key, and this keeps your Bitcoin safe. Now, I'm going to just jump ahead because I want you to envision this with me a little bit. I talk to people and tell people all the time, I'm talking to you about cryptocurrency. I'm talking to you about money, the ability to earn some additional money off of cryptocurrency, but it doesn't stop here. This is just the beginning because I talked about Bitcoin being the very first app on the blockchain. The rest of the blockchain still needs to be developed. It needs people like you, people like your children, people like your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, your godchildren that are brilliant, that anytime they get information, they know when we get information, we excel. As a matter of fact, the ability for us to actually, the technology for us to be able to send money on the blockchain from peer to peer, that technology was developed by a Black man. It would not be possible but for us. So when you're hearing about, when I'm talking about crypto, let your mind run wild. Start thinking of different things like, hey, I could use this type of technology and what I'm doing over here. I can use this technology and what I'm doing over here. One of my students who was very skeptical about crypto. He was someone who smoked cigars with my husband at the cigar lounge, started learning, came to one of my courses, loved it. Then was like, okay, we did the one-on-one coaching session. I helped him set up his cryptocurrency portfolio. Then he joined my inner circle where I do additional education every single Tuesday. And he was like, okay, I'm hooked now. He is now a self-proclaimed crypto nerd. He is also a developer. And so he will have one of the first cryptocurrency developments when it comes to real estate. He has they're called barn dominiums that he is building in Texas. There will be 10 barn dominiums. They are beautiful. They're beautiful black barns that are decked out to the nines. There's one named after us. It's called the Lawrence unit. It's the biggest and the prettiest one. Okay. And so you can go and get one of those barn dominiums. Those properties are able to be sold on the blockchain. That means the deeds are on the blockchain. And when I told you to expand your mind with me for a minute, any of us who have learned and have watched the news or PBS, we've seen that over the years, and it may have happened in your family, that property has been taken away from indigenous people or slaves over the years because people were able to do it. They could burn the deed, they can be in cahoots with someone at the courthouse that is in charge of the records, and whole towns were able to be taken away from people just because someone wanted to. Well, now if your information is if your deed is on the blockchain, something that is a ledger that is irrefutable, that is global, that's not owned by any government, your information is secure and it is your ability to prove that you own that asset. So he's going to sell those 10 properties. Guys, this is fire. This is like a huge thing that he's going to sell those 10 properties and have the deeds being put on the blockchain to make sure that for generations to come, that those assets are protected on the blockchain. You will see more and more of this happening when it comes to real estate. And when you go back and listen to that podcast that I did, I talked about how an entire real estate transaction would be able to happen from someone deciding they want to go into the house, look around the house, purchase the house, and have the deed to the house all within a matter of minutes to hours, however long it took for them to look at the house, all without needing a realtor, without needing a credit check, without needing a mortgage company, without needing a title company to look up the deed and prepare the paperwork, or a closing agent. All of that will be able to be done on the blockchain, and I break it down on that YouTube video, and it's fascinating. So really start thinking outside of the box how other things can be done. One more that I'm going to share because it's near and dear to all of us, and what we are suspecting may have happened. Imagine if every single person from the comfort of their home, from their job, from their nursing home, wherever they are, could open up their phone, go on the internet, and with their secure information, place their vote for who would be president next time around. And it couldn't be hacked, that the boxes couldn't be stolen, the ballots couldn't be stolen, that they couldn't call in bomb threats to churches so that thousands of people don't vote in one church and 10,000 people don't come to vote at another church because they're scared of being blown up. When we are able to use these technologies to change our lives and take control of our lives, not just from it producing profits for us, but from us being able to have things that are transparent, it's a game changer. So transparency is one of the biggest things that has the powers that be kind of nervous about it, because hey, how now we got to expose everything. We got to say, like, this is what really happened, and these are how many votes were here, and this is what really happened. But this ledger, this digital ledger that everyone can see, that's transparent, changes the game for everyone. So I love that aspect of it. They can't cheat, they can't hide anything. It's all on a public notebook and everyone can see it and verify it. Accessibility is massive as well. Bitcoin is accessible because anyone with internet connection can use it no matter where they are in the world. Bitcoin it's the main coin that was created, the very first one that was created. There are now millions of other what's called altcoins. Write that down. We have a whole chapter on altcoins. Altcoins, ALT, that's short for alternative. Altcoin means anything after Bitcoin. Any coin that was created after Bitcoin. A big one that was created some years ago in Africa was a coin called M-Pesa, M-P-E-S-A. It was a game changer because the company that created the coin also gave everyone cell phones. So now with their little flip phone, everyone, people who didn't have bank accounts, couldn't get access to bank accounts, could now use digital currency on a flip phone on the internet in remote areas to be able to buy and sell goods, changing their lives forever. And now M-Pesa is massive all across Erica, or excuse me, all across Africa. So when we're talking about the money is great, but what we can do with the technology to change things is even better. And then lower transaction fees. I don't know, has anyone sent a wire lately? If you sent a wire, a bank wire lately, or Western Union lately, tell me in the chat how much it costs. Or if you buy or sell goods on PayPal, tell me in the chat what the fee was on PayPal. So if you sent a bank wire, Western Union, or PayPal, tell me what some of those fees are in the chat. Because the fees can be astronomical to send money from one person to another. So lower transaction fees was one of the biggest benefits when Bitcoin was developed, especially people who were living in one country and sending funds back to their family in other countries to help support those families. If they were sending $100 via Western Union and had to pay, $5, $10 on the on the $100, then that cut into their profits a lot. If they're sending PayPal's fees are ridiculous because they know they kind of got the market cornered. And for some of the people who love PayPal and want to use it and have set it up for business, they're just saying, I'm just going to use this. Matter of fact, Cash App, I don't use that anymore. Cash App's fees got ridiculous. And so being able to send funds back and forth to people for pennies on the dollar. I sent someone, we had a raffle last month in our free community. I told anyone who invited someone to the free community, their name would go in a hat for the raffle. The raffle, it ended up being 96 people in the raffle. I did a drawing last night and this beautiful Queen Latoya won. So I sent her the $100. It cost me 42 cents to send her $100. That I can't even imagine. It would be like $7.50 or something to send it on PayPal. So having lower transaction fees changes the game for everyone. Some of the challenges to cryptocurrency and some of the things that I need you to really pay attention to. All right. Volatility. This is why education is so important. Bitcoin's value in cryptocurrency as a whole, the value can change a lot in a short period of time. That's called volatility. Just like you see in the stock market when prices go up and down on the chart, that's the same thing that happens with cryptocurrencies. So one day it may be worth a lot, the next day it could fall. This makes it harder to know how much Bitcoin will be worth in the future. So many people have to be careful about using it as an investment. If you're saying, okay, I want to save up for a down payment for a house and I'm just going to go and throw my money into a Bitcoin account. Well, if at the time when you want to purchase your home and withdraw that crypto, if the market is down 10%, that's 10% of the money that you don't have there available for purchasing your home. So you have to also be strategic about it, and you have to be a little bit flexible. Okay. And so the markets again go up and down, but as a whole, the trajectory of Bitcoin, let's say if it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. If you're watching my screen, you see my little finger going up and down. Well, it's going up and down, but overall, it's continuing to rise. All right. So if you're looking at gold, which used to back the US dollar, gold has continued to rise and been on a steady increase. And let's say gold has come here. Bitcoin started out low, 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 probably here, but over time increased and it has outpaced the growth of gold over the last 10 years. So when you're looking at assets and where you want to have your funds saved, you may having a portfolio approach is always best. So you may want to have a portion in stocks, a portion in your 401k, which I would not touch when you have to pay a penalty. But then money that you have access to and you want to have access to, you may want to have some gold because it's a little bit more stable, or precious gems or silver. But cryptocurrency, your return, the potential for your return is going to be better, especially with coins like Bitcoin. Okay. And so security risk. One more thing with the volatility. When you go through my trainings and you become more educated, one of the things that we work on is not purchasing with fear, or a scarce mentality. Because when people do that, they often end up buying coins and they say, oh, well, I see it's going up, the value's going up, I need to hurry up and get as much as I can. And they do things like take their mortgage money or take their car payment money or take some money that they couldn't afford to invest to put it into the markets. And the Wall Street investors, the larger investors, institutional investors, understand the psyche of regular people. And so they know when the market goes up and they start talking about it on the news and people start posting videos about it on social media, that's when regular people jump in. That is when institutional investors will go and manipulate the price to drop it so that people get scared and sell off. And now they're selling at a loss. So when you're working with me, you're learning how to dollar cost average your way into a portfolio and not to make moves based on fear or social media. Security risk. Bitcoin faces security risk on multiple levels. First of all, individuals who are not careful with their passwords or security key, it's the absolute travesty. Because remember, these are not funds that are owned by a government, owned by a banking system. These are your funds. You are in charge of your money now. Okay. And so it is important that you now handle your money accordingly. You are responsible for making sure that you keep track of and keep up with your passwords, with your security keys, and having a plan in place for your legacy. All of us will die, period. Today is the 1 year anniversary of my father's death. Saturday, we buried my grandmother. Everyone dies. I'm going to bury my cousin on Wednesday, who is my age, who was completely healthy. Okay. Everyone dies. Fact of life. But what you do now and how you provide for your legacy starts with the actions that you take. So you have to write those passwords down. You have to make sure that someone in your family or whoever's in charge of your estate understands the passwords and what to do with them. All right. You need to laminate them. Yes, it sounds corny, but what happens when someone gets that piece of paper out your safe and they're like, oh, I think this has something to do with an account or something. I don't know what this is for. It's on the table with everything else. And your grandbaby comes up and spills their bottle of milk on it. And now the words are gone. They don't have the words for your security key. They don't have access to the money that you saved up that's grown for them over the last 10 years. Okay. You need to make sure you're laminated, it's safe and secure. People understand what it means, how to access those accounts, and you have those security keys saved in multiple places. A fireproof safe is paramount. And then if you have a safe like at a bank, that would be another great idea. And if you have it, whoever is in charge of your estate that's going to read your will, maybe you can have it with them as well. Because we've seen in California, houses burn down. We've seen in the South, floods happen. We've seen in North Carolina unprecedented floods. Things happen. You have to be prepared for all of these incidences. And so security risks like that are things that we can make sure that we are preparing for. But then also hackers. Hackers will never, ever, ever screenshot. Everyone put this down in the chat. No screenshots. No screenshots. You never screenshot your security key or your password. No screenshots in the chat. I need you to understand that. I need you to make sure that you hear me on this. That is how, when hackers go through and they do it systematically, periodically, they go through and just look through people's phones. They look through people's phones. There was a really cute movie with Idris Elba. And sometimes when you see movies and because it's on in Hollywood, you think, oh, it's fake. It's not fake. The Russians are monitoring people's data, their phones. They're probably watching my camera right now. But when they monitor that information, when they see secret keys or passwords, and the format is very similar on all of them, boom, they know where to go and get your money. That easy. Your crypto wallet can be in your purse. It could be in your desk drawer. It could be on your computer. But that secret key, it's either 12, 16, 20, or 24 words that are in a specific order. Once you have those words, you can open a laptop here and put them in, or you could be in China at a Hilton, a Marriott, wherever you want to be, go to a hotel lobby, open a computer there, type in those same words, and you'll be able to gain access to your same wallet. That is what gives you access to your funds. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Tanisha. No screenshots. I can't see what you guys are saying on TikTok, but please, I hope you're understanding no screenshots. When you're able to access that information anywhere, it is important that you make sure you keep that information safe and keep it away from hackers. Okay, so regulatory concerns. We saw that an executive order was put together by the president. And so we have yet to see it. For me, it was more of a concept of a plan. So we'll see what actually comes of it. He asked some people to make up some rules and regulations around how the US government will interact with cryptocurrencies. There's been some promises of not charging um, capital gains taxes on US based currencies. So we'll see what they do there. But the biggest thing is that the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, is backing down on their attempt to make Ripple, which is one of our biggest coins. It is the coin that's been adopted by American Express. It's been adopted by, XRP, adopted by American Express, banks across the world to be able to move their money much faster. The SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, was trying to classify it. Live discontinued. All right, so they were trying to classify it as a security and charge taxes on it accordingly and take control of it. So Ripple, the company, fought it tooth and nail. And now the new administration is saying they are backing down. That is massive when it comes to regulatory concerns. The other thing that we have to look out for is making sure that no other country is able to try to claim digital currency as their own asset. Okay. And then the biggie, the adoption barrier, and the easy solve for the adoption to cryptocurrency. Again, when I was talking about when I was feeling the blues after the elections and I was getting these downloads, one of the other things that came was an article. My husband shared it with me, saying that less than 3% of the global population even has access to a cryptocurrency wallet. Now, for someone who's been in this space for 8 years, for my husband who's working on cryptocurrency deals every day, he's an attorney, so he helps people who have $1 million or more that they want to sell or buy in cryptocurrency. He puts together those transactions. When he's doing that, I'm thinking, okay, things are great. Everybody knows about crypto. Understanding that less than 3% of the global population even has wallets means one thing: that education is needed. It means something else. The opportunity is available for you. And when you look at where we are, when you think about, okay, the internet, and when the internet got started, we're at about 1997 in the development of the internet. Guys, I didn't even have a home computer until 1998. So when I tell you we are still at the very, very, very beginning of this, and there's a massive opportunity for you to go and get educated with me, to join my community, to stay in the know, and to be able to start at a small pace, putting together portfolios, and most importantly, making sure that your children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, your godchildren are being educated as well. Because these kids, you give them a cell phone at 3 years old, next thing you know, they're viral on TikTok because they went and found out that Chuck E. Cheese is open, Grandma, and we can still go to Chuck E. Cheese. You give them a video game, they will break the video game in one day in a good way, right? They will go and max out the video game. These kids are highly intelligent. And if you listen to that interview that I did, I talked about there will be 13 and 16-year-olds in the future who right now it's on YouTube, right? My grandson's 7, he calls himself a YouTuber. He doesn't even have a page, but that's his dream job, to be a YouTuber. These YouTubers who are reviewing toys or having people sit and watch them play video games, some of these kids are making millions of dollars. Imagine when they are all playing video games and the winnings that they get are considered tokens. They're already familiar with this. Now, when they flip the switch and they are able to monetize those tokens, and those tokens turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars for kids, and then they will be the people providing car loans, mortgages, everything that we need to make life go because they sat around and they could figure out something without us having to give them any instructions. They don't need a class from me. They just need the exposure. So I implore you to get your kids educated, get them as much information as possible, have them sit with you and start looking at these platforms and um, and exercise. Grab a pen and paper or your phone, whatever you have. You can even put it in the chat. But write down what was your biggest crypto related fear and pair it with one positive fact that you've learned during this lesson. What was your biggest crypto related fear and pair it with one fact that you've learned during this lesson? Yeah, Juju, that grandma tried to chill at home. She said, "Oh no, baby, Chuck E. Cheese is closed." That sounds like me. No, baby, Chuck E. Cheese is closed. That baby said, grandma. All right. So, yes, what is one biggest fear you had related to crypto and pair it with a positive fact you've learned during this lesson? I am always amazed and thrilled by the responses. So, if you want to, let me put it in the chat here. If you want to email your response to me, I love to see them because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. The fear of volatility, but learning it's secured. Yes. All right, I put my email in the chat. If someone wants to email their response to me, it's Tonya@TonyaLawrence.net. Let me put the website as well, because those of you who are just joining in later, I shared that we have a coupon code. Let me put that here first. Coupon code for all of the Hillman Talk students. It is Hillman, and it gets you 50% off anything on my platform before the end of February. That means that you can join my inner circle. That is on every Tuesday. I give education on a specific subject and we really hone in on something. You don't have to be very experienced, but that inner circle is also has a plethora of recordings in there that you can go and look at from January. It gives you the first one, I think it was January 7th was the first one. I don't know, the first Tuesday in January, the recording is in there that I help people map out their plan for their crypto portfolio for the year. Just like you would sit down with your manager of your 401k at your job every year, that is what we put together so that you can have a plan. We're not doing this haphazard. You need to have a plan for your money. You need to have a plan for your investments. And so that video is in there so you can see the recording. What else do we have in here? I had no idea that crypto was Now what it was, now I know it's digital currency and it's scary, but wait, but a way to make my money grow or work for me. Chris, okay, my last soapbox. We need to make this the standard. We need to make this the norm. First of all, kids stay home with us until they can purchase a home. No more going out to pay rent. And we work with them as soon as they get their first job. We'll work with them. Have them put 70%, 80%, let them get some change. When them taxes hit on that first little paycheck, their mind is messed up. They're like, wait, who's Uncle Sam? Who's FIFA? Like, who are these people taking money from that check? It blows their mind. But when we help them learn about money, when they are able to be protected, that all of their money is not for spending, have them take 60, 70% of that check and put some of it into stocks, some of it into their savings account, and some of it into a cryptocurrency portfolio for themselves. And then when they start to learn how to pick coins, they start to learn how to pick stocks. For kids, it's easy. They know what's popping, they know what's happening. My kids had to buy stock. If they wanted something that was going to be expensive, they had to buy stock in that company first. That's the only way we're doing it, right? And then we could talk about you earning it. Well, when they learn how to take their money and make their money make money and live off their profits, and they're able to start doing that at home at 14, 15, 16, with their birthday money, even when they're able to start doing that at home. And then we turn them out into the wild after college at 22 with a savings account, a stock portfolio, and a cryptocurrency portfolio that are out of this world. Plus, they have assets that they've accumulated along the way. They have maybe apartment buildings because people were paying them rent because they had the money and they had the ability to do so. That's when we're able to flip the switch. But it starts with us creating new norms. It starts with us saying, like, the stuff, the fast grab, the fast, I need this, I need that, I need this, is not where it's at. Be patient. Let your money work for you. It may be much harder as an adult when you have so many bills and expenses, but for kids, it's way easier when you start with the mindset. And they're going to look at you sideways because they're going to be like, but you spend all your money all the time. You eat out every day. They see, they watch more, they learn more from what you do than what you say, right? And so maybe it may require you having a conversation with them and saying, here's what I'm going to change. Mommy's going to change this. Daddy's going to change this. Instead of buying, XYZ every week, instead of Starbucks 5 days a week on the way to work, I'm only going 3 days. And the other 2 days, I'm taking that money and putting it into my crypto portfolio. You may think it's small, but I have one lady who we started back in 2016 together. Her name is Mary. She is in her 70s. She started putting $10 a week into her Bitcoin portfolio back in 2016. Game changer. Game changer. So when we start thinking about things in a different way, it will completely change our results. So, what else do we have here? The security of the ledger. Yes, I love the security of the ledger. Being able to know what's going on when. I had someone who told one of my clients that they sent them, I think it was like $100,000 last week. And my client called me and was like, okay, this is what happened. They sent me a screenshot, but I didn't get the money. Yeah, no, no, sir. Don't send my client no damn screenshot. Send my client the hash. That's what we need, is the hash. I don't know who you think you're talking to, but send my client the hash. And they couldn't produce it. So I told them they were lying, period. Um, so the reindeer games stop immediately when people know you know what you're talking about. All right, let me see. I put the website here. So, guys, again, the free community, tons of information in there and knowledge for you. The inner circle every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your girl gets it in. I have topics for every Tuesday already mapped out until the end of the year. But if something comes up in the news where I feel like it's relevant and we need to tweak it, I go in and I redo the schedule information for that Tuesday. But this is my passion. I am here to make sure that we're able to win. So please email me any feedback that you have. Please share on social, especially on TikTok. Like the videos that I have on there, forward them, try to forward them to at least 5 people. That's when the algorithm starts to say, oh, yeah, this is something that people need to know about. It's liking it, saving the video, um, liking my feed, following me, I'm sorry, and then forwarding that video to 5 people lets them know this is valuable information. And then it starts to show up on more For You pages. So I'm willing to give you all this free information, all this knowledge I have up in here, all of this knowledge that I charge $1,000 for on a regular basis, but I'm giving it to you for free. If you could bless me with just letting more people know that I'm out here. I am willing to serve. I want to educate. I want to empower, that there's a community of like minded people that are wanting to learn, and there's a safe haven, a safe place to learn with no judgment. I try not to use lingo or jargon that makes you feel uncomfortable. I don't like that when I'm learning something new. Help me, talk to me like I'm a fifth grader, but make me understand at a higher level. And that's what I would do, and I'd provide for my people. So it's Tonya Lawrence, the Blockchain Queen, signing off. Next week, I know we were supposed to be on Sundays, but I am thinking that next Sunday is Super Bowl or something. I don't know, some kind of football thing. So we're going to go back to Monday. I'll be back Monday at 8 p.m. with my sound issue fixed, and we'll see you then. Bring a friend, tell a friend, share the videos on TikTok so that they know they can pre-register on and join the website to use the coupon code Hillman. Bye, guys.